So we're here on location at Bellevue Elementary School, the star location of a food assistance program by a group of students in the group, the Outdoor Hispanic Leadership Student Group, composed of students from the Wood River Valley who are assisting the Blaine County School District to deliver food to families most vulnerable during the COVID pandemic.
My name is Bob Knoble, and I'm an advisor for the Outdoor Hispanic Leaders at Wood River High School. Well, when the school district first decided to distribute meals to children in the valley, I noticed that there were a number of my neighbors and relatives that were not coming out of their homes, and they had young children, and I thought, well, maybe we can figure out a way to get it to them. So that's what we did. Every day that we delivered lunches, we of course tried to follow as many of the protocols, the safety protocols as we could, and I'd like to give a special mention to Jen Barth, who made all of us these protective masks that we wore when we were delivering. She did this, she's doing this as a community volunteer, and we so much appreciate what Jen did for us. Well, Amber Avila coordinated this program for the entire valley, and every day she sent buses loaded with food to locations in Bellevue, locations in Haley, and locations in North Valley too, all the way up to Ketchum. And hundreds of meals were delivered every day. We were a small part of that. Amber was very happy to have us helping, and we were very happy to help. Sure, we had 9 families that we delivered to regularly, 27 meals to 9 families, Monday through Friday. For example, one of the families had 2 newborn infants, twin girls, and when we showed up at their house, they were wearing masks even within their house to try and protect their children. But that just gives you an example. There were lots of other families that had similar situations, and they were uncomfortable really coming out of their house. So we tried to fill that gap there between the bus that delivered meals here in Bellevue and then directly to them. Well, in almost every single case, the door was answered by a young child. And we took so much pleasure in seeing their faces when that door opened and we were handing them bag lunches or styrofoam packages or milk or juice. I know that that's an experience they will never forget. And they'll remember these kids, maybe not by name, maybe not by face, but they'll certainly remember that they came to their door at 15 years old to deliver meals to them. These guys were all role models for sure. Well, it's always important to give back. It's always important to do something for somebody else besides yourself. It's important to care about other people besides yourself. And I think this gave the 10 volunteers that we had, who were mostly 15-year-olds, a chance to do that. And these were memories for them that they'll remember for a lifetime as well. Well, we started with 2 volunteers. Don and Brian Hernandez were the first 2 to jump in to help, and they were very eager to help. They immediately said yes. And then from there, it grew to other members of the Hispanic Leadership Club from the high school, and it grew to 10. We were like an army every day showing up, rolling through Bellevue. We were using a razor at one point. We were playing Mexican music from the razor. We certainly attracted some attention for sure. The Hispanic Leadership Club really has a number of goals. One of them is to help the guys learn leadership skills, number 1. Number 2, to be comfortable in the outdoors. But number 3, also to give back to their communities that are supporting them in many ways. So yes, through the high school, you can reach out to us. Either myself or Matt Gershader or Herbert Romero. The 3 of us are the advisors for the club. Or to Julia Graft at the high school, she can reach out to us as well. The Leadership Club was initiated by Julia Graft. She, last fall, called on Matt Gershader, myself, and Herbert to get together and see if we could come up with an opportunity to engage kids at the high school for a number of reasons, to engage in their work maybe a little bit more thoroughly, but also, like I said, to learn leadership skills. So that started last November. Since then, in addition to volunteering, we've been skiing, we've been snowmobiling, we've been fly fishing. We have lots more things planned as well. These kids have really bonded. They really feel like a family now. Well, there's a number of groups in our valley that I would consider role models. In that way, the Advocates for sure. A couple of our members also volunteer at the Advocates independently. The Hunger Coalition has a very large group of Hispanic kids who are volunteering there. The YMCA, of course. I'm sure there's others. But the point is, kids are eager to get involved if you give them an opportunity, and we're happy to do that.
My name is Don Hernandez, and I'm a member of the Outdoor Hispanic Leaders, and I'm a sophomore at the Wood River High School.
My name is Brian. I'm also part of the leadership and the Outdoor Hispanic Leadership, and I am a sophomore as well at the Wood River High School.
Typical day, we would wake up around like 10:30, and then we would meet outside Bob's house at 11, and then we would all take our temperatures and make sure that we were all ready and put on masks and gloves, and then head on to the Bellevue Elementary School.
Basically, it was mostly kids because we could only take meals to kids that were up to 18 years old. And the kids were really grateful. They would come out running out of their houses, and they would receive the lunches and say thank you to us.
Well, it was just like a regular day that day. We were going to deliver a lunch to a family that had 3 younger kids, younger than 12 years old. And right as we were stepping into the deck, we were going up the stairs, I told Bob Knoble that I had smelled gas from the outside of the house. And once he knocked, because we would knock at the doors and give him lunches, he knocked, and then the kids opened the door, and I smelled the scent even stronger. So right when we handed them their lunches, I told Bob that I could smell the gas even stronger when we went up there. It was a pretty strong smell, like when you go to the gas station and fill up a gas tank. It was just that propane smell that you could really smell really strong. And I told him, it smells really bad. And so we went off, but before we got back on the car, I was like, Bob, it smelled really bad. We should go check. And so we decided to go back and check. And sure enough, we went inside with masks and gloves, and the stove was on, but the fire wasn't on. So the gas had been on for a while, and the windows weren't even open, so it was really strong. And we told the kids to open up all the windows. And I mean, they were home alone with an adult, but the adult was still sleeping, so he didn't really smell it. And their parents weren't home. Only the older adult that was there with them.
In the future, when we have kids, they're gonna ask us what did we do during the pandemic, and I think we're gonna have a really good answer to tell them.